So I want to talk about changing mindsets in one area, and it's a subtle shift on the surface, but it's a huge shift for how you look at the way you add value, the way you build teams, and the way we look at the firms of the future. So we started to think about this differently. So there's 3 components to looking at the value we add and our teams add in the workplace. So the first thing is current performance. Are you currently delivering what your organization, your firm, your team needs? Now this isn't what you like to do. It's not what you've always done. It's not what you're really, really good at, but it's what the organization needs now. That's a big reflection. If someone hasn't tuned into what is needed now and aligned their performance to that. It's on a scale of 1 to 5, a 1 being low. That'd be like not performing. Maybe they're on like a performance management plan. Maybe there's someone you've told to stop buying the firm logo wear because you got 2 weeks left. Does anybody like Office Space? Anybody remember Office Space? It's someone you fired but never told. Anybody know what I'm talking about here? It's like, oh, we got some work to divvy out. Oh, let me ask Steve over here. Oh yeah, Steve gets pretty mad about anything we ask, so I'm not gonna go there. Let me ask Jim. Well, Jim's got 2 projects. That's his max for the whole year, so let's not have that hard conversation. Let me go over here to Molly. Oh, Molly says yes to everything, and she's a rock star, and she's actually working personally on setting boundaries, but she's not good at it yet, so let me go right over to Molly and just give her, hey, Molly, do you want your 48th project of the year? Molly's like, sure, I can do that. And then it's all imbalanced, right? And so that's kind of that fired but never told, and that'd be a 1. Not performing, just really not doing what we need them to do. Now a 3 is someone who's delivering on every single one of their goals, their growth goals, their performance objectives, whatever you're measuring, they're hitting that stretch goal. That's a 3 in this idea. Now a 5, again, best in the world at what they do. Now, a lot of people are like, well, I'm best at the firm. I'm like, that's awesome, but our firm's not our competition. And how are we benchmarking? It's not comparison, it's benchmarking. And by the way, some of you might have a 5 performer. What we should do is we should replicate them, record everything they do, study them, turn them into AI, and that becomes the new 3. It's like a unicorn. You have a unicorn. Study that person if they're really a 5, and let's replicate it so that's the new 3. That would be where we elevate everyone up as quick as we can to perform and have that new standard. So that's the idea there. Now, it's not only are you delivering today, that's where most people stop. Is this person a high performer? But as you know, with all the pace of change, it's are you delivering today, but are you ready for what's next? What's your future potential? Are your skills growing and developing at the pace needed to serve our clients with what's happening in the future? Are your skills gonna be relevant in 1 to 3 to 5 years from now? Are you keeping up with the times? Now, 1 is someone allergic to training. So we got someone with this allergy? Put out a nice credits or virtual course from this organization. You say, hey, we got a great speaker coming in. Their first question every time is, do I have to go? Is it mandatory? Are the partners gonna know? Is there a sign-in sheet? I will only do something that's got credit here as long as I get a pay raise. Am I gonna get a bump in pay if I complete this? It's like that allergic to training. Now, a 3 would be someone keeping up with the times. They're most likely tech savvy. They're aware of trends in the industry. They're aware or becoming aware of their conscious and unconscious biases. They're really citizens of the earth. I can't engage you at work if you're not engaged in life. That would be a 3. Now, a 5 is an alien sent from another galaxy to save us all. Anybody ever met an alien? Inventing the future. They're out there. We had a speaker come back from the East Coast. There's an organization taking a piece of a liver in a petri dish and turning it into 10 livers. And they're telling you in about 15 years, and it might come faster than that, you're gonna be able to go to Walmart or maybe Amazon and get a 6-pack of beer and a brand new liver. You just gotta find the surgeon to finish the job, if you know what I'm saying here. And so then I was talking to one of my buddies I know. He's trying to become the Amazon of organ transplants due to 3D printing livers, and I just got out of the whole conversation because this is getting crazy. This is 5 conversation. And I got nervous and I just dropped everything and went back to my own value equation. I had to check in how I'm doing in my career as a speaker and trainer. That's my role. And so I looked at my current performance. Some of you guys have been laughing at my jokes. I see a couple people taking notes. I'm up here on stage, I'm like, wait a minute. Current performance, I might be a 4 or a 5 out of 5. And then my human condition kicks in. I start to say, wait a minute, I think I need to get paid more. I need some better benefits. I need to go talk to our founder, maybe some more opportunities out there. Maybe we have some different conversations on flights and things like that. And then I check in and get reality-based. I look at my benchmarking. My competition is speakers worldwide. One of the metrics I have in my space is New York Times best-selling books. Who wants to yell out how many New York Times best-selling books Alex Dorr currently has? Anybody want to guess for an invisible prize? 0 at the moment. Now guess how much some of my competition has? 10 to 15. Some of them put in, well, it's a post, it used to be a tweet out that they're thinking about writing a book and all of a sudden it's a bestseller. It's like, how do you do that? It's not even written yet. So I get honest and look at my metrics. I'd say I'm just a 3 in this equation, delivering a decent amount of information, hopefully perking up some intrigue in your thoughts, and eventually a tool here. So I'd say I'm a 3 in my own equation. Now, future potential, am I ready for what's next? We put out content and record everything to put it on a podcast, video, and a newsletter. I study how adults like to learn. We try and make these roundtables interesting. I'm always studying the greats and other speakers to try and help with my message. And, always thinking about what's next. But am I inventing livers in a petri dish for the speaking industry? Or am I innovating in our organization, saving some efficiencies? I don't say I'm there yet. I'd say I'm a 3. Now, 3 plus 3 is a 6. You think that's a lot of value in this equation. But you never understand the true impact of someone's work until you understand the cost. And this is the cost of emotional expensiveness. And every one of us has a drama quotient. What's your freak out factor? What's your hassle factor? What's the drama quotient? Now, the first 2 parts are what you add to any team, client interaction, organization. The last one's what you take away beyond your salary and benefits. And we all have a human condition. Now, this part of the equation's inverted. A 1 is low drama. A 1 would be good, so to speak. These people have an aura around them. You have that client interaction that is just getting nowhere, and they float in. They don't walk in, they float into the meeting, and all of a sudden they say, what's going on here? And they just say like 2 sentences. All of a sudden it clicks, and it's like, thank you, and they just float out. Does anybody have someone that's able to do that? It's like, what just happened here? Was that a ghost or was that a colleague? That would be like a 1. These are drama diffusers. Now, there's not a lot of 1s out there in the workplace right now. Now, a 3 is your typical colleague that believes they have a right to vent pretty consistently. We talk about that in our other content. Who lacks accountability, who gets into ego, judgment, tattling, scorekeeping, who resists change, who isn't aligned with where your firm's trying to go as far as new strategies. Those are the sources or the competencies around drama. Now, a 5, for lack of a better term, this is really just kind of a hot mess. Respectfully, unfit for human consumption. Meaning, all of a sudden we're in a meeting and people are smiling again. You're like, why is everybody smiling? We're actually moving things forward without 1,000 questions we've already answered. It's like, oh yeah, Alex finally took a vacation for the first time in 2 years. So now we can smile and talk about how we could instead of why we can't. This is beautiful. Now, hopefully not a lot of 5s there, but just trying to give you the scale. Now, I would tell you that I teach this for a living and I screw it up, but only daily. I'm aware, but work in my program, I'd say I'm a 2 in emotional expensiveness. So 6 minus 2, I'm a 4. You're thinking, okay, still a decent amount of value. And then here's where in our second book, without going into the regression analysis, there was a big finding. Drama has a 3 times multiplier in the workplace. Now, how do we know that? Notice when there is a juicy piece of drama, it tends to spread. We gotta tell a couple others. Now, another way to look at this is let's take your 2 top performers, or many of you probably are top performers. Let's take top performers you've been around in your career. Let's say we have a issue come up or we need to really move and flex towards a project, and we need some extra hands over there. And you say, hey, can you cover for us? You got A and B, they're both top performers. Person A, you say, hey, can you cover for us? And that person goes, absolutely. I know in these times we sometimes have to jump into other things, support each other. Happy to jump in, just brief me on it. I'll do the best I can to plug in. And I know others support me, so I'm happy to help out in this moment. I'm here to stop judging, I'm gonna start helping. That's person A. Now person B, also a top performer in this equation at the top here, say, hey, can you cover for us? We need some support over here. Their first response is, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute, who else have you asked? And do you have an Excel spreadsheet of all the times you've asked me and not other people? Because this is getting a little suspicious why I'm always the one plugged into this. And can you clarify with me if Becky's gonna be on that team? Because I got in a fight with Becky in 1989. So if we're working on that project together, can you make sure she's out of the Teams call and or maybe out of the room while we work on it? And is that at another one of our locations maybe? Or do I gotta go drive across town? Because if it's a 2-minute drive, I need you to cover my gas miles. And I'm kind of a Starbucks, not a local place person. Can I get a Starbucks for that project? And now I ask you, in that one task for the organization, who's more valuable? Doesn't mean you don't have boundaries, doesn't mean you can't say no, but for how we're gonna flex and support each other, be that trusted advisor with a team that's supporting our clients, most would say A. Now without this equation, they're both top performers, there's no way to know the difference. And so in that, let's finish my math. My 2 in emotional expensiveness, my 2 becomes a 6. 6 minus 6, I'm a 0. I'm a 0. Feels weird to say that. Now 0 doesn't mean I add no value. 0 doesn't mean I add no value. It's the new ego-free number. It's the work-life balance number. So at the end of the day, I look in with my teams and I go, looks like we currently perform what the organization needs. We do a high five. And it's, I did what you asked for. It's what I was paid for. We got an easy contract there. It's even. I stayed ready for what's next. I kept learning and growing. And then I stayed fairly low drama. So at the end of the day, it's like a high five. I'll see you tomorrow. And my colleagues, my partners, my leaders are like, no, I'll see you tomorrow. And we leave work even. Now, how many of us would like to leave work even? With energy left over for family, friends, pets. This new word I'm learning, it's called hobbies. Is that how you say it? Hobbies? We gotta look that one up. I think that's the pronunciation. These things you like to do on your own that aren't working. And so this equation sets up a little bit of a different way to look at this. 83% of high performers came out a negative number on this assessment the first time. Now, why is that? There's a tendency to overvalue current performance and technical skills and undervalue readiness for what's next, especially in our current transformative landscape. And really what's going to be needed is this ability to team and flex and partner with our, whoever it is we're partnering with, to be able to be that low drama resource for our clients.